Hey everyone, how are you? The other day we sent an email talking about using soluble fiber to help reduce our cholesterol levels. And I also mentioned in a recent video that I like to use plain Greek yogurt for breakfast. And I had this whole milk Greek yogurt in my fridge that again I had for my kids because when you have young kids, sometimes using 2% or whole milk is okay to help with brain development. But the reason I recommend using a low-fat or non-fat dairy product is to reduce the saturated fat that we get in our diet, because saturated fat has been shown to increase the risk of heart disease. And we want to make sure that we're keeping the saturated fat in our diet, which typically comes from a lot of animal products like fatty meats, butters, high-fat dairies, and we want to keep that low. The American Heart Association recommends getting about 5 to 6% of our total calories from saturated fat. So if you're taking in about 2,000 calories a day, that is about 13 grams of saturated fat. And just to show you how to find that on a label, this whole milk yogurt, if you look at the back where the fat is, it's hard to see, but right under total fat, there's a line for saturated fat. And this one has 3.5 grams of saturated fat in this small container. So if we're trying to keep it to 13 grams in the entire day, you need to be diligent about looking at your saturated fat intake of what you're eating and making sure you're not exceeding that. So that's why it's important to start choosing lower fat choices if you are trying to reduce your risk of heart disease, which most of us should be doing. So that's what I wanted to show you on this. Again, I had it for my kids, but typically I would buy for myself a lower fat version to keep the saturated fat low.